Yeah, sorry for the fucking bouncing back and forth here, but usually it's 1, 2, 3. Right now, not so much.
Alright, I see it live now there. I think I'll do the classroom.
Yeah. Let's go.
Hey Chris, what's your channel called? Because I'm posting
It
right now, about
it
to go
should just
live
be Dr. Noob Sauce Hookah Reviews.
for Noob Sauce. Hookah Reviews. Got it.
Just gotta get the chat up here. They redid all this stuff on YouTube, and it's a pain in the ass to get around now. Okay, so we are live on YouTube, so we're just gonna let some people jump in here. Let me pop out the chat.
Okay, I just posted on mine. Let's see where that takes us. Oh, okay, classroom. Got it.
Okay, so we are live on YouTube, so we're just gonna let some. All right, let me just post on Hookah University real quick, and then we should be good to let it populate.
Okay, I'm actually gonna switch. I'm gonna switch browsers real quick.
Yeah,
Be
no
right
problem.
back.
Oh, John's in both places now.
What's that?
I was like, you're in both places. I just gotta eliminate him real quick.
I'm in both places.
Yeah, I got you on 2 screens here. What's up, Don Pipe? 1 second, buddy. We're just ironing out all the stuff here. There you go. There's Jake's back.
Same Safari was.
And where would questions appear? On the right of the YouTube?
Yeah, it should appear on the right there.
Okay. And the YouTube link doesn't seem to be, it's super delayed.
Yeah, that's we
Or
can we
all of
can
us super delayed.
we could write a nasty letter to YouTube about that. They don't give 2 fucks about anything like that.
Okay, but for us to say, like, to stay synced, we stay on this page. This
Yeah, I would say just mute that page and then just use it basically for just the text, just the questions and stuff. The questions will
Yeah, I
still come
muted.
over as we see them.
Okay, you muted YouTube.
All right.
John Pipe.
YouTube about that. They don't give 2 fucks. I could hear myself.
Can we see comments here in this here in app?
No, not in the Hearing app. No, that app is just basically just there just for us, so you can see me. Because it's very weird when you have a interview with people and all they hear is a voice. It's very weird talking to just a floating head. Okay.
All right.
All right. So really quick, I want to say thank you, John. Thank you, Jake, because you guys are super busy right now. Especially we got less than a week away. Today's the 24th, and the expo is August 4th and 5th. For all those people out there who have basically not gotten tickets yet for an event that you should definitely be a part of, especially if you like anything hookah related or are part of any of these hookah communities. I think it's really cool to be a part of something like this. Now, I have been out there and I've been to the Chicago meetup. I've been to the Hookah Expo here in New York City. Like, I haven't been to a lot, but when you do go to it, you make friends immediately. And I think it's a really good thing, a really fun aspect of being in the hookah community is to actually interact with the people who are in these communities. And there's no better way than to do it at the expo. Now, this expo is super important for, I guess, a couple reasons. One, it is the biggest expo here for us Americans in the United States to show, hey, Russia, hey, Latin America, we can compete with you. Check out our expo. We do it fucking badass. And two, there's been a lot of other expos, but not many expos that are hookah only. There is no vape from what I understand at this expo?
No, not at all. to continue with your point, any of the other expos that you'll hear people talking about, they're basically business to business. Other than the hookah fair that tried in the U.S., but they went mainly vape.
Mm-hmm.
But the business, you'll hear people throw around TPE. That's a business to business one. It's made for people who are, actually buying and selling in wholesale quantities. So that's not much of a, years ago we started going to those, and I was bringing them to YouTube and to the community
Mm-hmm.
and showing you guys because it was fun to watch. And then a lot of enthusiasts would actually show up at these, and so we kind of built a fun community, even though it was business to business and they weren't. We figured it's time to make a hookah only expo open to the consumers, and that's what we did with Hookah Expo Worldwide.
And speaking of YouTube, I have the one, the only Hookah Rev, someone who I watched when I was like first looking at stuff. I mean, John, you were up there because I think if you type in hookah, I think John's videos, I mean, you have 40,000 subscribers. It's ridiculous.
Right.
No one else in the hookah community has anything hookah related that has that many subs. So if you type in hookah, you're probably going to get a video from Hookah John. But Jake, Hookah Rev, I mean, like a lot of the reviewers now know you. I want to say grew up. I don't want to make you sound old. But a lot of the people grew up watching your videos. Like, you were the guy who was doing it all. Like, I now do videos. You got Pipe Dream Hookah. You have a lot of other people out there doing hookah reviews, and basically it's because people like you who started it before us gave us the platform to do it. So it's super awesome to have you on here, man. When are we ever going to see another review video? Just throw it out there. Just surprise people.
I've been real ambiguous about that.
Oh, hold on, your audio is really low.
Wait, is it messed up?
It sounds like you have a mic in another room.
He's talking to you, Jake. Can you hear us?
Yeah, one second.
Yeah, I'll go on to say that Jake is definitely no slouch when it comes to YouTube and reviewing.
No, he was doing it right. He was one of the first guys I actually saw who wasn't sitting on their couch doing hookah reviews. He was putting actual production into their videos and everything. It was really awesome, really refreshing to see, and that's why I get a little bit of my inspiration basically when I do my videos, and I try to put a little bit of production value into it from watching what he did in his videos. But I like your videos too, because your videos are, I don't want to say, I guess I could say unconventional, because they're more of like a vlog style. It's like I'm sitting down with you and we're just having a chat, which is very different when it comes to like hookah products and how people present them. I mean, if you look at your Instagram page, it's just you and your phone walking around talking about stuff. A very one-on-one, very personal thing that you do, and people love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just easiest. That's why I do it that way. Instead of editing and putting things together, I just don't have the means, skills, or someone else to do that for me to edit things. I mean, we do that once in a while, but it's been working out pretty good. So I'm going to continue on doing that, and I have fun doing it too. I don't rehearse anything.
No, it's awesome. I think you coined the phrase "just throw it in there" when talking about packing bowls, and people still use that term. But no, I really like those videos, and man, like, you basically can just open your phone and right then and there just start talking, and that's marketing right there. You don't need to do advertisements and do all this fancy stuff. Just have John talk for 5 minutes on a live. He's entertaining enough.
Hey, cut in. Is this better now?
That is better. Yes.
All right. I had a little mic laying around. So actually, I'm gonna jump in and defend myself since we only have 13 people. So without running the risk, hey John, I got really close, man. I might have actually exceeded your sub numbers at one point, but I stopped. So
it happens on YouTube. You fall off for like a month, you lose like half your subs. You're like, what happened? Where'd they all go? They used to love me. I'm relevant.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. No, obviously I got busy inside the industry, and truthfully, like when I started Hookah Rev, I don't really know how many people know the full story. I've told a few of them, but like really how it started is I just got pissed off on one of the forums, and I was like, look, this is all BS. Like one place to get, if you like this reviewer, you
Yeah.
listen to the reviews and it's all documented in one
Yeah.
place. And that's pretty much like how I started the channel.
For all the young cats out there, a forum is what we used to use before there was the internet and all these Facebook groups. That's how we used to vent and yell at people.
Yeah. And obviously I bounced out because, you know, I started getting into some business and some work into the actual industry. You know, whether I personally feel like I've never been biased myself by any measure, but I just never wanted that question to come up.
Yeah.
So just as far as the answer to that, I just felt like it would never be fair as to if I'm really in it this deep, you know, how credible could my opinion be questionable?
I completely understand where you're coming from.
But this is why I love the platform of Hookah Expo Worldwide, and you know, I was definitely watching last year when John pulled together 2017 show, which I was just ecstatic about because this is what the United States market always needed. Just like you said, it's like, hey, Russia, Germany, let's show you what's up.
Yeah, we needed that shot in the arm, John, that you just gave everyone.
Yeah, and truthfully, the only person that did, and come on, John, like we've been talking about it for how many years? Like, oh, we should do expo, we should do an expo. Like well into what, 5-6 years ago, but John actually did it. John actually pulled it off, and you know, mad respect to that.
And it's no easy feat. I'm imagining it's like, you know what, we could start out an expo. Then when you sit down, you're like, holy shit, what did I get myself into? Like, this is crazy. Coordinating, getting all these vendors, you know, it's one thing getting a verbal yes, but getting people to sign those contracts and be like, you're going to be there is, I am assuming, a complete, either a nightmare or a blessing. I don't know which one it is.
Oh, biggest nightmare out there is Alpha Comma.
I know, we all just saw Badia just jump in here, so...
Totally joking. He's actually been an angel in comparison. But yeah, no. Everybody's been good. But yes, just like you've been saying. Yeah, no. It was tremendous to see John actually do it. You know, everybody, 99% of people out there have great ideas. They want to, you know, progress the community. They want to do better. But it's all about just getting it done. You know, that we are so overdue for an expo like this. Getting people under the same roof. You know, getting people on a level playing ground. I couldn't be more excited. I know, like, I'm stressing that it's 9 days left, but at the same extent, it's like, holy shit, it's 9 days left before this all comes together.
Is there like a little bit of anxiety there? You're like 9 days, and then you say, oh shit, 9 days is like nothing now. It's like right there.
I'm drinking. What do you think?
Hey Jake, how's your sleep schedule these days?
How do you spell that?
I'm assuming sleep is like a distant stranger to both you guys. I mean, you guys seem busy out the ass, especially now. But right, really quickly, actually, before we get into the whole expo talk and get into the specifics and who's going to be there and things we want to see, John, what are you smoking right now? Because I feel like any hookah sit down should be talking about what we're actually smoking.
Yeah, actually, I'm smoking that new flavor by Trifecta. It's called Arak flavor. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the drink. It's Lebanese, Middle Eastern drink. It's made with anise and grapes, and it's a liqueur, 100 proof. Mix it with water.
How close is it like a double apple type flavor? Like
you know, it's going to be compared to that. It will be compared. That wasn't the goal, but you know, double apple tastes like licorice, and Arak tastes like licorice. Yet neither one has licorice in it. And the funny thing about if you ever drink Arak, if you're new to it, it kind of numbs your tongue a little bit in a cool way. And the actual tobacco does too. The flavor by Trifecta, they did a really great job with it. It actually numbs your tongue as if you're drinking the drink. So I just made a video on it, and I think it's uploading now. But you guys can check that out later. So that, using the knurl hose, smoking out of a MIG.
That is a hose that I do want to look at. That will be at the expo, obviously, somewhere.
Oh, for sure.
Because
we'll be running MIGs with the knurl hose.
Oh, I know, me personally, I'm looking forward to checking out all the buzz behind that hose. Now it seems like John's no stranger here to a good drink, and I have seen that Jake likes to have a nice beer from time to time. If you ever checked out his Instagram or some of his social media, he has a picture maybe with a couple of drinks. Jake, what is your favorite beer? Because I have seen you drink beer from time to time on your social media.
For the record, the beer is a front.
Oh, the beer's a front? It's a show beer.
Yeah, just to make it seem like it's like, yeah, I'm casual. No, man. But anyways, I don't really have a favorite beer per se, but I can tell you one story about a particular beer that I had, and certainly I can hold my liquor, okay? But I guess we'll have to see if that's true at Hookah Expo. But I can hold my liquor. John, I don't know if you disagree or agree. I think you'll agree.
John's waiting to chime in here with something, but we'll let you finish.
but let's just say in all my years, I've never been in a situation where I actually woke up in my son's bed, my 4-year-old son's bed. I really had no idea. I was extremely irritated. My
Does
wife
he have like a race car bed? Is it something like ridiculous? Like
no, it's actually a normal bed. We've made the environment very close to our room.
Yeah.
3 beers, Golden Monkey.
Golden Monkey.
I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what century I was in. So anything that can do that, yeah, I guess it could be considered one of my favorites.
Is it one of these beers where they're like, hey, you order it and it comes in like a shot glass and like that's your beer? It's like, wait, I ordered a beer. Give me like a man-sized drink, please. And they're like, no, maybe you should just stick with that because it's so powerful.
Dude, I wish, man. I was at a local bar with a buddy of mine, and I was like, okay, Golden Monkey, cool, like 9.4%, whatever, like
yeah.
And they're like, you know what? I'm gonna have to like in advance cut you off at 2 because we had to take it off the draft menu because once somebody gets to 3, they're stumbling out of here. I'm like, get the fuck.
Yeah,
no way.
You're automatically calling bullshit on that bartender or whoever. Somebody's like, listen, you don't know who I am. I'm gonna do 5, and I'm gonna show you what's up. So 3 beers into it.
Exactly what I said. But yes, Golden Monkey, highly recommended. I know Neve's trying to get together like a beer exchange. Believe me, I'm gonna bring some Golden Monkey.
I'm gonna have to fly out for that. Because that's not something that's piquing my interest. But I think Vegas, we have a lot of people in here that are definitely going to be wanting to grab beers. I am hoping that I'm able to use my legs at the end of Saturday. If I do that, if nothing else, if I'm able to walk on my own 2 legs and not have to crawl back to my hotel, it's a victory. I think I did well, But who we got? We got Mr. Adrian Hunter, Pipe Dream Hookah, AM Hookah, that's either Matt or Adrian, one of you guys are simultaneously getting on 2 accounts here, but thank you for padding my views. I like it. Thank you. I'm not going to complain. We got J-Rock. J-Rock, what's up, buddy? You got Padilla, Moyes. Man, you got the whole crew in here. Matt Dezen. I want to give a shout-out to what AM Hookah Podcast does. They do a weekly, episodic podcast. We sit down with people in the industry. They basically, go through all your questions, and they try to hit all the topics that you want to hear. And we don't really have a weekly show that we can tune into that actually gives us, those insights. And not only insights, but it also lets us interact with the people that they're talking to, which is a great thumbs up in my book. So I appreciate what you guys are doing. Gregory from Sky Hookah Distribution, my buddy. What's up, man? How you doing? And how you doing, Wes? So, Las Vegas Convention Center, South Hall, August 4th and 5th. So, it's an expo, but it's lounge style. What does it mean for people who might be like, what the hell? Why would that be different from a regular expo? What's a lounge style? What does that mean? I think I have I go to lounges frequently enough where, a lounge style for me, sit down across from the person, you get more of a personal experience rather than a meet and greet. But what made you come up with this idea to bring that to an expo setting? Because it's very hard to do that. Either of you guys.
I'll let Jake take that one because that part of it this time was his idea. And we did in the past, the one that we did in the past, we went like traditional expos where just like a booth and a table and you just come and stand and talk to people. But without speaking for Jake too much, this is hookah. We go to hookah lounges. We sit when we smoke hookah. So just make the booths, actually they're bigger. It's a bigger bang for the buck for the exhibitors. And then you can actually sit and chill with the brand representatives. And Jake, go ahead and continue on that.
Yeah, definitely. So there's 2 perspectives of how we took the direction to the expo to be like this open lounge concept. So most of you guys know I served the last 6 years very, very deep into the industry, and knowing how much the expense was to actually exhibit. I mean, the numbers are ridiculous. Absolutely.
You're a numbers
Right.
guy. I can see that in your eyes. I see the
100%.
numbers are turning. He's like Rain Man. There's just numbers coming around all over the place.
100%. 100%. So, like, obviously it varies throughout, but on average, yeah, it costs about 6 figures for an exhibitor to get a nice stand, just to show face for a little bit. It adds up. I mean, this is the price of a small house, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
but the big
not in New York City.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
we're talking maybe Midwest.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just so there's that perspective of things where you get to a point as a vendor where that doesn't make sense anymore. Naturally, everybody wants to get a return on things, but at the end of the day, what I noticed and basically setting up 12 to 15 trade shows around the world a year, like literally single-handedly setting them up. The biggest takeaway that I always saw from the attendees side, whether it's B2B or B2C, just like Hookah Expo is the biggest takeaway was how I got to interact with the customer and vice versa. It just, the biggest takeaway is like everybody wants to talk to who's behind the scenes. It's cool to say like, hey, there's Fumari out there, there's Sherbetli out there, there's Alfaker. It's very easy to just put like a brand name behind things, but when you actually meet the people behind it, it's honestly the biggest takeaway from both sides. So with this open lounge concept, it kind of leveled the playing field a little bit more. We're not saying that we're hindering any of the exhibitors from representing themselves or adding like marketing to things, but you don't have like 2-story towering booths behind each other. It's not all about like, hey, how much did I spend? So I'm going to look, the most cool behind it. It's literally for the community. It's for this industry where you get to come and you experience and just see what everybody's presenting. And just, like I said, like having a level playing field behind everything and giving everyone an avenue to be able to meet and connect with people behind the scenes. And from the exhibitor side, really softening that blow of the cost of exhibiting. And truthfully, this is where John and I have the biggest stressor is how do we make everything cost effective? That's not easy, especially at the Las Vegas Convention Center and just, everything behind.
You guys booked one of the biggest places to hold a convention.
Exactly. Like it had to be there, but we cut a lot of things out that where I would consider as fluff or an opportunity for a show owner to make money, and we're not saying that we're just these nonprofit or like we're just doing this for whatever, because we obviously want to grow the community. Yes. John has business in the hookah industry. I certainly have business in the hookah industry, and we want to see this have a future, not just this 3 to 5 year timeline. Like like guys like you, guys like John, guys. Like we know exactly what the hookah industry is, but we don't have a platform, even considerably like our YouTube channels and our reach that we have there. In my opinion, it is just a drop in the bucket in comparison to what the whole industry is made out of.
Yeah.
So, we really got to figure out a way to connect with everybody and to remind people, like everybody that goes out and buys a 100-gram flavor of this or that, that they're part of something, because that's really what hookah is, in my opinion. So that was kind of the whole reasoning behind the whole open lounge concept.
Yeah.
And I think it was extremely well received.
I mean, I think also you guys are giving all the vendors a fair shot at representing themselves by bringing like people who are knowledgeable and friendly enough and really able to talk to the individual about their product and sit down with them and be like, okay, listen, I'm gonna sit here and smoke this hookah while we're talking about the product. Here, try this now. What do you think? What's your one-on-one impressions right then and there? So it's also great marketing research for that individual brand, because they're able to get immediate feedback. They're not just watching people walk past their booth. They can go out there and be like, hey, buddy, come here. Let me sit down. Let me talk to you. What type of flavors you like? Oh, okay, hold on. Let's pack a bowl. Let's see if there's something here we can get that you might like and stuff. And I really like the personal connection, because I think when it comes to hookah, I started smoking hookah. Basically, me and my friends would go there and hang out and talk about what was going on in the day and, the troubles or, jokes or, whatever it was being. But you're sitting down across from a person and having that open dialogue and bringing that to a hookah expo is, I think, in my personal opinion, is a great idea. And I like that you guys are doing that.
Okay. I wanted to answer one of these questions, too. AM
Sure.
Lucas said, he asked, why is Vegas the best place for this? And Cameron said, Los Angeles. We should have had it in Los Angeles. We just have too many laws in every different state. Vegas is just wide open as far as the resources, the places, the venues. They'll allow smoking indoor. Not too many places do that. They're still at 18 and over on smoking. Um, so and plus, when you're going to travel to an expo, you want to find out what's going on in town. I mean, what's not going on in Vegas? There's a million things to do, and plus we have a big community between. It's fairly easy to get there from California, from Southern California, from Arizona, and they have a big population in Vegas. So we get a lot of population from these three regions, and I'd love to have it to California in California too. I wouldn't have to spend as much money on that. And plus, we have a big community here, and the weather's always nice. So we're still working on that for the next one, Jake. Remind me of an idea that I have for California that might be doable. California as a whole, it's. I've been trying for years. I've been working on this for years. So Vegas is definitely it's the best place because it's pretty much the only place that allows for it. Maybe we find some place in Kentucky that does it, but if I said, "Hey, the expo's in Kentucky," I don't think many people show up.
Yeah,
No
I mean,
offense towards Kentucky.
having
I
it in Vegas is kind of like, hey, this might be your vacation for the year, and you're getting an awesome expo out of it as well. It's kind of 2 for 1. I mean, the thing is like this is like, oh, by the way, guys, if you have any questions, put a couple question marks so we don't skip over them real quick, and just write it in bold letters so we will definitely see it because we do want to answer your questions. If you have any questions, please shoot them away, and I'll just ask them, or like John will just answer them, or Jake will answer them. Admission prices, early bird specials, $25. That special is obviously over. I was lucky enough, like this, pressing my keyboard, waiting for the tickets to go on sale, so I got that. Right now, how much are ticket prices going? Like, what are the tickets going for right now?
They're $50 right now, and that
$50.
includes both days.
That's
Not bad for an expo, especially of this caliber. I mean, other expos cost well over 100 to get into. Um, but yeah, we just did 50 in the last month or so. We had early bird at 25, then went up to 35. We just want to see what we have to gauge how many people are going there. So that's
mhm.
why we can afford to do it at half price in the beginning, just to get people signed up,
Yeah.
give that incentive. So yeah, we got a lot there. But the good thing is now that we're getting closer, we're getting a lot of sales daily. We have no idea how many people are going to be there. I'm not going to even try to estimate right
I
now.
I am looking forward to the overall numbers, but I'm assuming that just by pure speculation and word of mouth, that this year should blow the doors off of last year. Definitely. I mean, even like I wrote down all the people who are showing up, and you have, Jesus Christ, what do you have? You have 27, at least minimum 27 vendors right now.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I mean, last year you had 20, and this year you have 27, and you have some of the, if not the biggest names in hookah right now coming.
Did we have 20 last year? 20 exhibitors?
On the
Really?
list I have a list here. It's like around 20-ish people, 20-ish vendors. But a lot of them were like some of them were vapes. They weren't like total just hookah. I mean, I'm looking at the floor plan that you guys have here. A very ambitious floor plan. You have the biggest booths going to Maya, Zomo, Alpha Kama, Fumari, Starbuzz, and Alfaker. Those are I guess the big boys who say, yeah, we'll just here's money, take it. I'm really interested in seeing how the layout, because I don't think the map really does it justice. Of how it's actually gonna be presented. I mean, you have some people here that weren't there last year. I mean,
Oh yeah.
you have some repeat guys, like you have Regal coming back, Sheikah, Trifecta, Ugly. You got Alpaca, which is one of my favorite bowls. I actually am smoking out of an 80-foot 80. Don't worry, John. It's okay. I got yours right here. And that's like my favorite go-to bowl. Um, you have, obviously, HOOKAHJOHN, Hookah Headquarters, and B2B Wholesaler Magazine is going to be there again this year. But you have so many, like, brand new people coming out there. And it's crazy. Did the success of last year definitely played in to getting more people on board this year, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people, a lot of brands held back last year. And this is kind of something that it just disturbed me a little bit. It's like they would their feedback was, well, we want to see how it goes the first year before we sign up for it the next year. I'm like, motherfuckers,
Yeah,
come on.
that's kind of
Without you
like,
guys this year, it's not going to be a great show. It turned out to be a great show, but this year is going to be so much better, especially with we got some big dogs coming in. Starbuzz is going big. Zomo coming from Brazil. Alfajama is coming in, which is really great. Maya didn't come in last year, and that's going to be great because they were always a big brand in the beginning,
hmm
and it'd be great to see what they've done in the past few years. So I'm really proud of the big guys. We've got some of the smaller guys who just started, like Azur,
hmm
Sir Bentley just came to the U.S. So really excited to have those guys here. Who are some of the newer ones that Phoenix Hookah Company? They're coming out.
You
I
got
don't have a list in front of me.
Al Waha
Yeah,
is coming
yeah,
out,
well,
man.
that's coming out. I'm excited about that.
I mean, I think there's still a lot of people who haven't really been exposed to certain brands. I'll just take Azure and Serbetley as like two brands that are really good that a lot of people still don't really necessarily know about, and this will be a good expo for them. Um, yeah, Maya's gonna have their new X Function technology,
Right.
hookah out there. Then you're gonna have Starbuzz that just came out with the Carbine. Got a really good reception for the people who bought that. Jake, I have a question. What is your role with Starbuzz? Are you still the man over there in Starbuzz? What's going on with that?
Oh no, yeah. For the record, on the greatest of terms, because I actually have a lot of projects
hmm
uh, just on a day to day. I wanted to focus on a lot of my businesses, but no, since early 2017, I have no involvement with Starbucks.
Okay, because I know that I had a couple questions of people asking, like, "Hey, is Jake still over there? What's going on with Jake?" And I'm like, "I have no clue. I will ask him though."
I try to stay as classy as I can. I mean, there's like I've heard stories, I've heard different things, but no, I mean it couldn't have been more on amicable terms.
hmm
But that's why it's like there's no need to publicize it. There's no need to like go on record or talk about it.
hmm
But that's at least the way that I thought was the most respectful way to do it because there's really nothing wrong, you know.
Yeah. No, that's
But
good. That's good to
yeah,
hear. No, I'm glad it ended on good terms. So none of you motherfuckers out there can start no bullshit now. You heard it from Jake right here. Uh, so, Jake, really quick, this is a question for you. Being an old school YouTuber, do you have any advice for, you have a couple people in here or YouTubers that are trying to make their way and, do reviews and stuff. What is a piece of advice you can give to them?
Oh man, I've tried to give as much advice probably in the times of like 2011 and 2013, but I'm not entirely sure anybody truly listened. But it's really just do your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
You and I were talking a little bit off record, right when we're waiting for everybody to jump in.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I started the whole thing because I disagreed with just half of the content out there. Because, like, look, at the end of the day, viewers are they're gonna want to watch you, or they're not gonna want to watch you. And
Mm-hmm.
John can attest to this. He's been around far longer than I have, and he's got the experience behind it. But they're either going to listen to you or not. I mean, you want to conform and be like this guy, or I want to do this, or I'm gonna make a nice review for this company, just for whatever the motive might be.
That's the worst. You shoot yourself right in the fucking foot doing something like that.
No, you did, man. I mean, when I got started back in what was it, 2000? It's like 2009 or so. I had countless people trying to say how much for a good review, or I want to send you a ton of shit. So it was always like, no. Look, I'm gonna buy your product from one of the vendors that I support,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna review it. That way, there's literally no strings attached. So bottom line is be true to yourself. Find your edge. You have to be something. You have to have something that's unique to yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's really the key. And of course, it helps to know what you're talking about. I mean, just to get on camera and say, "Hey, this flavor tastes like this, but it's completely off." Yeah, you might not get that many views.
Yeah. If you never had a goddamn orange before, maybe you aren't the person to be reviewing orange flavors. I'm just saying. What do I know? I don't know anything. But yeah, you guys, huge following. I mean, Hookah Rev you still have your website up. I mean, are you still doing stuff actively on the website, or is it just up there as a homage?
It's up there, and actually, I was poking around on the Hookah Rev YouTube channel that I'm actually logged into right now.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, fucking 13,000 subscribers still. Like, why didn't everybody unsub already? I don't understand.
You know why? Because they're waiting for you to make your grand appearance. The grand reemergence of Jake. They're waiting. You're just gonna drop a video one day and just be like, boom, I did it.
All right, so now that we're just this is I
It's
think the last
leading it.
time
It's leading in that direction.
the last time I was online, I think was actually with Januck. Yeah, Januck pulled me back online for a little bit, and I told him something was coming. But you know what, Chris, I'll tell you too. I always said if I'm going to come back, it's not going to be on YouTube, and that could mean a lot of different things. Okay,
Curious. Dropping
right. Little hints.
Little hints. Okay, that's
Right now I'm just busy with the expo. I just want everyone to have a good time, and that's a lot harder than it sounds.
yeah. Well, now that I have both you guys here, I want to ask you guys. Russia, okay? Fucking Russia, man. Alright, so they have a very strong market right now. How do you see us in the U.S. market to compete with them? What are things that you think we have to do to kind of, because everyone's talking about Russian pipes, Russian tobacco, Russian this. I mean, I think that the United States, we have very good products here, but I think, I don't know. I mean, John, your bowls, I haven't met a single person who really doesn't like the 80-foot 80 or the 80 feet bowl. I think we have really good products here to compete with Russian market. What do you guys take on that?
Well, my thoughts on it are Russia is a great. Sorry about that.
That's the Russians, by the way. You see
That was a Russian driving by real fast on a motorcycle.
Muffed.
He didn't want to hear what I was about to say. Russia is a great market, great people. I went out there, visited. They've got a lot of innovation out there. But one thing that I am liking is that our bowls actually sell out there a lot more than their bowls sell out here. It's a good thing because there's so many challenges when you're trying to export and import with extra costs of shipping and duties and all that. And it gets really costly. They pay a lot more for our products as we pay a lot more for their products.
Yeah.
So I'm on the opposite end now thinking about importing. Which hookahs do I get from Russia? Which products do I get? I'm just really excited to see what they've got going on because they seem to have come out more recently than the U.S. market has been going. They've always had hookah probably just as long as we have in the U.S., but their innovations have been coming out in the last couple of years. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to bring to the market. And anytime I see something really worth bringing over, I do. It brings another point on the online perception of things. Every day there's a new product from, let's say, use Russia as this example now. But how long are those products going to last? It takes a while. Like when you have a certain brand too, like say the Starbuzz Carbine came out, it's an instant hit because of the branding and the quality, the recognition of the what they've done in the past. With Russia, it's like, all right, these look great in pictures. Do I want to bring a ton or just a few? See how they go. How much do we hype them? One Russian product that I really like is this right here. They're called work bung tongs, and I really like them. I mean, these could be made anywhere in the world. It's just metal work.
Yeah.
And I find they're so simple. It's tongs. You never think about upgrading your tongs, but I mean, it's just a great accessory to have. And this came out of Russia, and I'm thinking something like this could come out of Russia cheaper than it is to make in the U.S. As far as I know.
Yeah, and they also double for like a self-defense weapon, so it's good.
Definitely.
But so, like you just brought over like the like smokes. You just brought over the like smokes. I'm ton of people like the like smoke as well. I mean, I have a matte pair here, and I also do have a like smoke here. I definitely like how they smoke. But one of my first hookahs going from a traditional hookah was a Starbuzz, and that Starbuzz was like, I was like, holy shit, man, this is something different. I really like this. I like how easy it is to clean, But I think the perception or the people are growing more to like things that are modular, things that you can break down and really easy to clean rather than a whole stem. I mean, I like Regal as much as the next person, but Regals are much harder to clean than a like smoke or a matte pair. So I guess it all comes down to what your preference is, and it's nice to have more and more items coming over from overseas that we can get here because we have more of a choice, and you give the people the choice, let them decide. But what is going on? Art is starting some shit here. Cameron, what are you guys talking about in the chats here?
Oh yeah, group chat's going out of control.
This shit is
But,
lit.
Chris, that's a really good point. For as much of the stuff that's been coming out of like international regions, and don't get me wrong, it's not like a U.S. versus this region or that region.
Not at all.
It's not like that at all. Because at the end of the day, it's like bettering this hobby that we all love so much. But the funny thing, what I've noticed, especially over the last decade, is really that no matter what comes out, a lot of the innovation and a lot of like the inspiration, I should say, for things is still coming out of the U.S. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of cool stuff that's coming out. But it's without giving too much credit to John, for instance, like a lot of the bowls, like let's be honest, like where's a lot of the inspiration coming from? And the Star Bazooka, the Star Buzz USA stems, how many platforms came off of that? Still with like tobacco and like the flavoring, a lot of the flavors that people are chasing stemmed from where. And I think that's the coolest part about what we have as a community out in the U.S. And that's the part that probably what we need to work on more is that whole community aspect. Because once you group together, once you share ideas, once you're like, hey, this is cool, rather than just shitting on everything all the time, it's such a huge aspect of this community.
Yeah.
Going out to like these hookah picnics in Russia, dude, everybody just wants this. They're like, this is cool. They just want to smoke. They just want to experience things with each other. And I think that's just a component that we probably need to work on a little bit.
Yeah, I will completely agree with you. I mean, having a lot of communities is good, but it also stirs up a lot of bullshit that goes on all the time. And the thing that once you get people face to face, all that bullshit goes away. People go back to what they enjoy, and what they enjoy is hookah and hanging out with people. So I think like not get back to this expo. This expo is a huge deal because you're getting people from 12 different countries, John, coming all over the world, meeting people. I mean, even at the small one, the Hookah Expo here in New York City, I met a bunch of people from Russia. They were just happy to be here. They were happy, literally, to talk to other people about the ideas in the hookah community and just to enjoy what they enjoy with other people around the world, which is great. I love that shit. Guys, I'm becoming a rich man here. I'm going to have you guys more on. I made it, guys. Jake and John are getting me the money, the dollars.
Is that what that is?
The gamer dudes are donating. I don't know who is this. Bacon in the chat. I think it's either it's is it Art or is it Cameron? One of you guys. Thank you for donating money. I'm probably gonna put it right back into giveaways, but that's happening there apparently. Really quick, I had a question. What got you guys into hookah? Like, because you guys been in the game for so long. How did you start? John, when was the first time you remember being like, what the fuck is this? What am I smoking? Is it magic? How does it work? And, what was your first experience like with a hookah? Was it like a family thing? Was it like
well, I'll tell you, thanks for the question. My parents are definitely big non-smokers, but I remember years ago they had a family friend. They would come from Brooklyn, New York. We were living in Boston at the time.
Hey, yo, Brooklyn.
Yeah, they came over, and the old lady, she was old then. She was probably in her 50s. My parents were pretty young. Their friends are young. She was in her 50s. She would bring a Syrian hookah over and smoke it with that dry, like Asfahani stuff where you strain it, and it would smell god-awful, but I saw what a hookah was when I was probably around 8 years old. It wasn't popular. It wasn't mainstream. This was an old person's thing. My parents were young adults then, let's say in their 30s or so, and they would never think about smoking a hookah. But in, I guess in the 80s, late 80s, it started getting kind of popular in all parts of the Middle East. It was getting mainstream, like in Egypt and Lebanon and most likely Syria and Jordan too, and other surrounding countries. And in about the mid-90s, I started going to Lebanon and seeing them pop up everywhere. So I started smoking them, and I thought it was, wow, this is pretty great. I got into it a little bit, not super serious.
I like how he downplays it. Yeah, this was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was like flavorful then. and you know they made all these. Well, there weren't too many flavors, but it wasn't straight tobacco. It's like your two apples basically. That was your only choice, or straight tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
And so after going back a few years, I noticed where they were. It was already in the U.S. And so I'd start noticing, oh my God, that's a hookah lounge. Let me go check it out. I'd get into it as a hobbyist. That's it. But nothing major. There weren't many. All you do is get a hookah and some tobacco and some coals. It was very simple. After years went on, I'd been going through a serious change, a financial change. You know, the whole real estate economy crashed, and that was my thing. So I was just smoking hookah every day.
Oh wait, you used to sell houses?
Yeah, and I used to do mortgages and all that stuff. Yeah,
I got to talk to you when I come up to Vegas. Maybe I have to buy some properties. HOOKAHJOHN properties.
Yeah. So it used to be. So it was supposed to be a temporary thing till it blew over, the whole crisis. And I got into it, started rolling. By the time real estate came back, I'm like, well, screw that. I'm doing good in hookah. It just grew so much. It's been, I'd say, 10 years now. So I'm not even looking back at real estate as far as a career or anything like that. There's no reason for that. And real estate is doing pretty good now. But I'm happy doing what I'm doing. And the actual community taught me a lot and kind of showed me which way to go as far as which products, because I thought it was a pretty simple thing. You know, you buy one hookah, you've got that for years, and you just, you know, buy coals and tobacco. It's not like that anymore. You want to have multiple hookahs. You want to get something that's not so traditional. You want to try different brands of tobacco, all the different flavors.
Yeah.
And accessories. Accessories are huge. Like, no one cared about hoses before. Just get me a hose, and when it's bad, I'll buy a new one. Now, it's like I want to try all these. There's so many diverse. Look at the hose you're using right now.
People spend like hundreds of dollars on just hoses now, custom hoses. You have Derek Moses creating hoses for the people, and you know, custom engravings, different types of wraps and stuff. And now it's become a thing where people almost need to have this thing. You know.
Definitely. So I'm still going strong and can't wait for the future. Looking forward to the future. The expo, my personal goal out of the expo, and this might be a selfish thing, but it's to grow the consumer base, because not enough people know about hookah, and there's plenty of us right now. But look at what vape has done in such a short period of time. We can discuss that if you want. I'd rather not, but I think it just comes down to simplicity. But hookah is just so much more fun. I mean, vaping, you're taking it as just a look at the guy next to me, just vaping for a nicotine fix, right? Whereas hookah, you're just. By the way, I like your vapes. We talked about those today, and I'm not a vape person.
Oh, we're gonna get the Jake. Oh, we're gonna get the Jake. I found this article from Jake did, so I gotta ask him questions about that.
Hang on, I gotta find a poop emoji real quick. Hang on.
Yeah, but I'll just leave it off with this. Hookah is a social fun thing. As much as everybody likes to get hardcore about, well, you've got to use this pack method, you've got to get this set up right, and align everything together. No, dude, when I'm sitting here with you, I'm not really thinking about my hookah. I'm just puffing on it because I'm focused on you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a social thing. The hookah is secondary. Like, I'll have hookah while I'm eating.
Yeah.
I'm not concentrating on my hookah. I'm concentrating on my food.
Yes.
When I have guests over, I'm in the conversation with them, and I'll have nothing to do with hookah. Hookah is just like, it's like having a drink, basically. But people make a big deal. Once you get it down, it's pretty simple. You get your own methods. It's pretty easy, and it always works. And I think we should just bring it down to being simple again, but definitely bring back all the innovations we can.
I love the innovations. Every time I see something come out, whether it be here or somewhere else in the world, I'm excited because I'm like, you know what, the market's still going forward. Like, it's not stagnating. People still want this. You know, people are still trying to create new items and new accessories or hoses or whatever. You know, and it makes me happy when I see that. Without going into someone who will not be named here, there is no fucking hookah czar. There is no one being who knows everything about hookah. You know, like you're constantly evolving, constantly. Badia, you have to stop.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to buy $100 worth of Alpha Kama now. By the way, Jake, you got very nice comments about your hair. Your hair is still on point. Apparently, that was a topic. That was a thing. People are very happy.
I'm just excited. Badia donated the 51.
We went up. No one's good. Guys, I appreciate it. Stop donating money. I don't want the money.
How do you even do that? I don't even know how that works.
I don't.
Okay,
I don't know. I don't even know where the money's going, John. I have the money's going to some offshore account.
Badia, I'll be packing no more than 10 bowls at your booth at Hookah Expo.
So, Badia says, not to get off topic, but he's going to have a huge cardboard cutout of himself at the expo. And
That'll be awesome.
I want to see how many different things we can put on that cardboard cutout and take pictures so we can put it up on social media. I want to try to get someone's hat. I want to try to get someone's jacket to put over it. I want to try to make it as goofy as possible. You know, that's what you get. That's what's going to happen at the expo. So, Jake, I totally forgot what the question was about. Oh, how'd you start getting into hookah? I need to know. I need to know what was the first baby steps for you.
I guess I should be poetic about it, but I mean, let's be real, right? I remember the